You look into the convergence of the worst, meaning that you have a huge part of cyber attacks, cyber operations, which are conducted for financial gain. So this is still like old school cyber criminal modus operandi, going for money, but in a way that is highly sophisticated. Because it could be by launching very large scale campaigns of attacks against the most vulnerable. You end up clicking on something you should not click on, open the attachment that you should not do. And because of the magnitude of the attacks, you can end up being a victim that the attacker was not even foreseeing to be. So that's on one end. On the other end, it can be very targeted, like the big game hunting of some specific group, like ransomware, going into companies in order, to make big impact and getting quite a huge gain when it comes to this. On the other hand, you have all the activities that are or performed directly by state actors, or sponsored by state actors, or facilitated by state actors. So imagine that you're in a situation where, as a victim, as a target, you're facing criminals with a financial motive. You are facing states with a need for geopolitical advantage or gain, and all of that, and we have seen this on escalation since the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, is now fueled by a more loose communities of attackers, like hacktivism or whatever you want to call it. But basically, people are partaking, a cause, an intent to conduct attack in a very decentralized way against specific targets. Like we see a collective since the invasion of Ukraine, but we see this very recently exactly the same modus operandi after Hamas attack and Israel bombing of Gaza. So it's quite a complicated threat landscape and very hard as vulnerable community to navigate.
Let me just stick with you for 1 second. So you just mentioned Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and your organization has been tracking an increase in cyber attacks on humanitarian organizations since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Explain that trend for us.
We started monitoring what was happening in cyberspace after the invasion of 2022. We could see that not only there's an escalation in terms of numbers of attack, but also an escalation into numbers of threat actors. So in June this year, we could track and monitor the activities of more than 100 threat actors where activities are directly linked to the conflict. So you have, threat-sponsored actors, you have criminal groups, as you know, who look like public stances into supporting one side or the other. But you also have, I was mentioning this before, and loosely groups that are called on Telegram channel and other platforms to participate to large-scale cyber attacks, such as denial of services. This is happening quite a lot. So interestingly, since the 2022 invasion, nor the Federation of Russia nor Ukraine are the most targeted by the cyber attack. We have 53 countries in the world targeted by these attacks across 23 sectors of critical infrastructure or essential services. So that's how you see escalation. At the end of the day, you end up having civilians who cannot benefit from essential services because of what has been escalated into another part of the world.